Today we're going to talk about anger and rage, and maybe this will resonate with some people right now. I went through something a long time ago where I carried a lot of rage, a lot of anger for years. And what happened is when I was 10, my dad died. He got killed. So my dad was walking our dog, Charlie, little brown dog, and they were up early going for a walk, and this guy was driving his dad's car, and he was speeding. He was doing double the speed limit. He had a huge record of driving offenses. He was speeding, hit our dog, killed both of them. Okay. It was awful. It happened right by my elementary school. It was just, yeah, life-changing event. For years, I had this rage towards this guy who had killed my dad. Okay, it's all I could think about. It was just like it was consuming me. And one thing that I found that helped me get through like processing my dad's death, because it was so unreal. It's like one minute he was there, the next he was gone. It's like, did he actually die? Like, what the hell happened? Like, I wake up in the morning, my mom woke me up like, why didn't your dad wake you up? My mom had had surgery recently and was home from the hospital. And so my dad would get up early, walk our dog, and then come back and get me up for school. And he didn't wake me up this morning. And so we're like waiting at the window. Where is he? Where is he? And then the police show up. And so I had this rage, like right away. I was just like so angry. And what helped me get through it and process it was visualizing my dad's death. It sounds super morbid, and it is, but I had to run through it in my head to make it real. So I ran through like everything that happened, everything that would have happened, everything that I heard about, like it went to court, everything that I heard about, all the details, and I ran through it again and again and again in my head till I made it real. And that's how I got through it. And like I've always been drawn to darkness and horror and all of this kind of stuff. So that kind of is just the way my mind works anyway. But yeah, like this, it helped me get through it. It helped me make it real. I had to. And over time, I realized without even trying to that I had forgiven this guy. It wasn't even my goal. I had no intention of forgiving this guy, but I had. And what I realized is that like me running over this again and again in my head, this guy actually lived it. This guy made it happen. This guy killed my dad and he saw it, and like he destroyed someone's life and someone's family's life. Like my mom was never the same after that. Like this was the love of her life. And, he had to see that in the courtroom, my mom crying, and like, he saw all of it. I'm only imagining it, but he saw all of it. And I realized that nothing I could do would be worse than that. Nothing I could do to him would be worse than what he had to live with all those years. And I realized I had forgiven him. And here's an interesting point about forgiveness. And like, I didn't realize for a long time that like the way we talk about forgiveness, we talk about it like we're doing it for the other person. Like when you forgive someone, you're doing it for them, and that you have to tell them, right? So like I would have to tell this guy, I forgive you. Like he doesn't know. I've never met him. I've never talked to him. I think I have found out details about him and like possibly where he works and that. I'm not stalking, nothing like that, but I have like all the information from the court case, and I have considered approaching him just to get some kind of closure with him. I don't know, there's part of me that really wants to have a conversation with him, not any kind of like, nothing nasty, but just to sit down and talk. And there's part of me that wants to do that, and I'm still on the fence about it. But yeah, I've never talked to him. So he doesn't know that I have forgiven him, right? He doesn't know this, but I've realized like forgiveness is for us when we're forgiving. And we had this, like my kids, we had this really good therapist for a long time after, like through my divorce process, through like my ex kicked our kids out 4.5 years ago. They've been with me full time. And we've done a lot of counseling sessions trying to work through all this stuff as a family, like as all of us together. And, what he talked about, the counselor, the therapist, is he talked about forgiveness being for us, and that how important forgiveness is for letting go of anger and rage and all of this stuff. And that, it's whether we're forgiving someone else or forgiving ourselves for something, we're doing it for us so that we can get peace. And sometimes it can be hard to do because we feel like we're doing it for the other person, or we're doing it like if we're forgiving ourselves for something, we're thinking, well, forgiveness means I'm saying the mistake was okay. Or like, me forgiving that guy, me saying I forgive him means that what he did was okay. And that's not the same thing. Like forgiveness is not saying that whatever they did was okay. It's not the same thing. It's not necessarily reconciliation. You can say, I forgive someone without wanting to have anything to do with them ever again. But what forgiveness really is allowing ourselves to let go of the anger, to let go of the resentment, and to finally have peace and to come to peace with it. And that's what I realized all on my own. By going through that horrible visualization, I let go of all of my anger and rage, and I forgave that guy, and I found peace for myself. So a lot of people are angry right now. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of anger online. There's a lot of bullshit happening in the world. A lot of horrible, horrible things. A lot of awful things. A lot of people in positions of power doing horrible, horrible things. And there's so much anger. There's so much anger. There's so much anger on like all sides of the political spectrum. Okay, there's so much anger at each other. So much anger upwards, downwards. Like so much anger. And I was thinking about this, that this practice, this exercise of forgiving, can be maybe helpful for some people right now, where you're not saying what this person that you're angry about, what they're doing is okay, but you're coming to some sort of peace with it. You're forgiving them for you so that you can find peace, so that you can let go of all of that pain. Because really, not forgiving someone, it's only hurting us. They don't necessarily know that we're angry, and it's just hurting us when we're holding on to it. Right? So if something is pissing you off, if something has you in a rage, or some political situation or world event or whatever, like consider maybe you can't. Maybe you can't forgive. And it does take time. It does take time and work. And it's, some people can never forgive, right? I mean, but maybe you can. Maybe you can. Maybe you have like two sides of a debate. Let's say some situation, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to mention anyone in particular, but you have like two different wings fighting against each other, let's say. There's nothing wrong with forgiveness. Forgiveness, like forgiving the other side for their fuck-ups, for their mistakes, gives you peace and acknowledges that they're human. They make mistakes. And like I see certain struggles online and people saying, well, this side, even if they said, oh, well, I was wrong, I'm not going to forgive them because they're stupid. They should know better. It's like, well, you're hurting yourself by not forgiving them. You're hurting yourself. So I want you to think about that. That like when you're not forgiving someone, no matter how awful a thing they did, you're hurting yourself. So how can you make peace with it so you can let go of that pain for yourself? Think about that now.